Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. Okay, all right. Welcome everybody to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I am Dr. Cush. We are here today on day 4 of antibiotics. I'm not allowed to drink still, so we are going to get some busy work done today. If you guys want to drink away. Go ahead, please. Be my guest. That's what I want. But we have some busy work to do. Busy work including things like, now this is, I think, a lot of fun. We're going to be doing lemon pseudo juice today. I have found recently about pseudo juice, and I freaking love it. It is so good. It is better than super juice. I know there was some discussion about super juice recently, how, you know, that stuff wasn't really working. But now we're doing pseudo juice. I'll explain what pseudo juice is versus the rest of it. We're going to make it. I have all the stuff sort of lined out around here. Then, listen to this, a Halloween show coming up on Thursday. Then, we're making tonic. We're going to make my homemade, we're going to make my homemade tonic, like tonic water. You ever heard of it? We're going to do that on Saturday. We got a big, long show ahead of us. Then, hopefully, we'll be back in business, all right? But we have some stuff to get done in the fall of Fizz. I was going broke, trying to buy enough lemons to make the world exist in the correct, formation. Pseudo juice hopefully will help. So that's what we're doing today. All right, get ready. I'll explain how to make super juice, lime pseudo juice. But we're going to make lemon pseudo juice. Super, super easy. Let me say hello to the people. First of all, let me say hello to Kyle, Jen, and I sat around and chatted about this. Bon meant to, of course, say, we'll miss you, Moose. But instead she said, woo Sisyphus. Now, I'm not going to talk out of turn or anything, but my wife has a favorite form of comedy. And that favorite form of comedy is spell check mistakes. There is nothing funnier to my wife than spell check mistakes. One time, somebody said, you're welcome, and it translated to Jenkins. And that was, as far as we're concerned, the funniest joke that's ever been told in the history of history. So thank you, Bon, for making Jen laugh. Woo Sisyphus autocorrected to, we will miss you. Woo Sisyphus. So if you're going to miss somebody from now on, I think it's important that you just look them right in the eyes and say, woo Sisyphus. Makes us laugh. There we go. There's Kyle Tender. Good to see you, pal. Sorry, Moose. Moose has got to get some sleep. I totally understand. That makes a lot of sense. Hello, Amy Beer. Hello to everybody from Amy Beer. Aloha to Lulu. Cocktail Lulu. Aloha to Yulu. Before things get crazy, on this past week's episode of The Simpsons, there's a tiki drink called Abe is Stupid. An episode about Grandpa Simpson from back in the 80s. Did they give the instructions? I'd make an Abe is Stupid. Let's figure out how to make the Abe is Stupid and go from there. I've never heard of the Abe is Stupid, Mr. Highway 666, but I'm sure somebody has figured it out. We'll figure it out as well. Stephanie Husband, winner of the 2024 Cush Tucky Derby, hashtag Tiki Tuesdays. We are in the house with the Tiki Tuesdays. Looking good. Speaking of good evening. Shawnee P, Shawnee Panda Baker. Scotty DuBois, happy Thursday to you all. Scotty DuBois, I believe it was Scotty DuBois, posted an amazing Tiki chart in Dr. Cush's Exotic After Hours. If you are not part of Dr. Cush's Exotic After Hours, I think most of you are, but if you're not, pop on over there and check it out. Pretty cool. Glenn, am I still walking? Yes, I'm still walking. Still with pneumonia. But still walking. Wow, says Paul. Wow. How's the patient? I'm okay. Getting a little restless. Want to get back to work, but I took an entire day. I haven't done this in a long time. Took an entire day, did nothing with it. That was, I think, was that Sunday? Might have been Monday. Might have been yesterday. Days are blending together. I did nothing with it. It made me feel way better. Still very guilty, but we did it. Let's see. This is a thank you, Stephanie Husband, for saying hello to everybody individually. That's awesome. Cocktail very excited about tonic. We're going to get into some tonic. There we go. Mom and I, remember this is a show for moms. Amy Beer Jr. and Amy Beer Sr. are enjoying the airmail. I have to finish out that bottle of bubbly. That's why I always buy the small bottles. I know that it's more expensive. I know that it's always more expensive, but it always makes more sense. Otherwise, I will drink whole bottles of champagne, and that just makes me very, very bougie. And I don't want to be there. There's Jen. She wrote, hey, everyone. Fighting autocorrect is a Sisyphusian endeavor. Do you mean you missed this endeavor? Woo. Nurse Jen, don't ask Jen to be my nurse. She's not interested. I asked Kyle to be my nurse. I haven't seen him since. Check it out. I am here, but I'm driving. That is Tiki Tom. Thank you very much, Tiki Tom. Good to see you. Beep, beep. Cocktail Lulu thinks that maybe you are the car, and she is trying to speak your language. Thank you, Tiki Tom, for checking in. Anyway, Tiki Tom, this is going to be a good one. I think you guys should watch this one later as well to get into pseudo juice. If you remember, we used to do a thing called, well, I think do we still kind of do it? Rum Monday. Rum Monday, where we would check out a rum, we would rate it, and then we would make a daiquiri out of it. And then we had to decide whether or not, because some limes taste a little different. Some limes just have a little less juice in them. So maybe the amount of lime juice is wrong. So we were trying to find a way to make the lime juice more universal. In that, we stumbled across a guy. We didn't stumble across this person. I did a little research, found about a guy named Nicholas Morris. And he was creating something called super juice by creating something called oleocitrate, which was a citric acid that was being shoved into lemon, lime, grapefruit, and something else, peels, pulling out those oils, and instead of it being sugar, now it's very citrusy. That kind of ended up being the issue with super juice. It certainly had a longer shelf life because the citric acid we were putting in there, the malic acid we were putting in there, definitely is a way to preserve things. All right, you can just pour some citric acid on stuff and it'll preserve it. It'll make it taste very lemony, very limey. It absolutely will do that, but it will also preserve things. The problem with it is then Nicholas Morris decided, stop it. We have all these extra limes. What are we going to do with them? All these extra lemons. What are we going to do with them? Let's juice them and put them back into the juice. And now you have a half fake juice. That's fine. It means half of it can pick up some free radicals and go off. Certainly there's some preservative factors there, but you also have something that can go bad. Well, a number of men came together. I think they were all dudes. Could have been some ladies too. I don't know who it was. First person I ever heard do it was Steve the Bartender. And I only heard about Steve the Bartender doing it because Bon Bon sent that to me. Thank you, Bon Bon. And I looked into pseudo juice. I have now made pseudo juice 2 times. It is now my preferred method of juice. And we will be having a pseudo juice versus real juice battle box. Not tonight. I have no ability to taste, and I cannot lose one of these. My entire reputation depends on it. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to show you guys how to make pseudo juice so you can try it at home, and from there, we can have our own battle box. All right? So you can have your own battle box at the house. This is what we're going to need, okay? I have all my ingredients right here. This right here is my very favorite method for making, this is my favorite method for making oleosaccharum. All right, I used to have to make a lot of oleosaccharum when I worked at bars. That was kind of my thing. I love the oleosaccharum. It stayed for at least as long as fresh lime lemon cordials, are usually much longer, and it brought around this very, very interesting taste, and it made less touches at the bar. I love that stuff. But in order to make a lot of it, I had to find ways to do it. So we got one of these. Hello. This is a bag for a food saver. All right, so we're going to put everything into this food saver bag. Hi. And we'll start. This is what we need. We're looking for 30 grams. Now, if you are averse to gram usage, I don't know what to tell you. Just do it in grams. We're going to do 30 grams of lemon peels. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have peeled at least 2 lemons before we started. I did not. So we're going to go ahead and peel 3 lemons. That's just consider each lemon peel to be about 12 to 15 grams of lemon peel. Don't do it with a knife. Do it with either one of these things, or unless your electric, do it with this guy right here. Unless your electric potato peeler is broken. That's what I normally do it with. My electric potato peeler needs new blades, and apparently that thing comes from Russia in like the 1920s. So there are no more blades for it. So I have to find a whole new electric potato peeler. So we're going to do this by hand. Remember, when we're doing this, get it real close to the top here, and do not pull. Do not pull. Do not pull. We'll do it up here so everybody watching from every camera can see it. Do not pull. Don't pull. You want to push the lemon. All right? So I'm just, the only hand, this hand is staying still. This hand staying still. This hand, that's the mover right there. Push the lemon. Pull the lemon. That's what we're looking for, friends. Otherwise, you start pulling with this one. That is how you start to get horrible, horrible scars all the way across your body. Not just your hands, all of your body. You think that that's a lie? Jeez Louise, as I'm saying it. I had a friend, his name was Fergus. His name used to be something different. But then, he got a horrible scar across his body. The only recourse we had was to call him Fergus. I think it was actually his real name. Go ahead and put this one here. Pull. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Nice and easy. We're just going to pull. These are what we call tips and tricks. Don't also, if you can avoid this at all, try not to get distracted by continuously trying to keep the audience informed of what you're up to and staring at the screen while you're doing this. That is never going to work. Pay attention to what you're doing. For Fergus means scar man. Pull. Pull. This is why we do a live show. Hey, hey. This is why we do a live show. Hey, hey. Usually you don't need the full 3rd lemon. I have started to make it in double batches. So I do 5 lemons, and that gives me about what we need. But for today, we're going to be just fine. Just go ahead and pick up all these little lemon things. Shove them into our bag. Excellent. This seems like a little too much for 30 grams, but you need 30 grams. Now, this is a little trick. Tips and tricks, tips and tricks. I like to give these a little shakeroo, otherwise they start to stick together. Get them nice and flat in here. That way you'll have more access to the sugar. Let's bring in sugar cam, or access to sugar cam. This is what we're looking for, all right? Nice and spread out. I'm not going to measure anything else out. I did a little reconnaissance before this whole thing started. So now I know what to do. This right here. God, this is dangerous. Ooh. This right here. Simple. Easy. Let's go here. This, 30 grams of sugar. Notice the pattern? 30 grams of lemon peels. 30 grams of sugar. You're doing great. Super easy to remember. You don't even have to think about that. Let's just do a hypothetical. Cush, you say. Dr. Cush. You would never say that. Cush. What if I do 60 grams of peels? Do I still do 30 grams of sugar? No. whatever grams of sugar you do the same amount of lemon peels. Very simple. Go ahead and drop that in here. Now I'm dropping this in here, and then I want it, this is an important part of using the food saver bag. You're gonna just sort of, as my producer would say, you're gonna schmoop this around. Is schmoop a real word? Don't think so. But that's what she would say. She would let you know. So that's what we got. So we want that sugar to touch all of these little parts. If you take your time now, you'll have less time in the future, or you'll have more time in the future to do other things. Okay. Now, we're basically, all we're doing is making kind of a weak oleosaccharum right now. We need now to continue on making the oleocitrate. Thank you to my producer. Perfect schmooping. Excellent. Oh, low-carb cocktail guy. Now, low-carb cocktail guy might have something else to say about this. Low-carb cocktail guy. I don't know if allulose can make oleosaccharum. I don't know if it can or not. I am not well versed in allulose or monk fruit. I don't know. I don't know how low-carb cocktail guy is making his super juice, pseudo juice. But I know that there are probably, I'm going to take a guess and say there are almost no carbs in our next ingredient, which is this guy. Looks exactly like sugar. If you put this in your ice cream, you're going to have a bad day. This is citric acid. Now, you might ask, Cush, how much acid do we put in here? I have an answer for that. Very simple answer. 30 grams. We are killing it right now. The issue is you're going to put in 27 grams of citric acid and 3 grams of malic acid. Now, in a pinch, can you put in 30 grams of citric acid? Just call it a day. Make it an equal parts cocktail? I think you can. I haven't tried it, but I think you can do that. We're going to take our citric acid. This is 27 grams of citric acid, and we're going to go ahead and just, look at this. We're just going to spread it out. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, big news. Oh, yeah, that's what we want. Look at that. Now, as we've seen, since we have made super juice on this show before, the citric acid will also get into these peels and start to pull out oil. These are good things. All right, so we're making a pretty hefty duty, a pretty fancy schmancy version of super juice, but we're adding the sugar because, of course, lemons and limes have sugar. They have sugar. They do. This right here, I've already measured it out. Remember, this is 3 grams. This is just to get to our 30 grams of acid. 3 grams of malic acid. So go ahead and throw in your 3 grams of malic acid. Kind of cool. Oh, let me say hello to our good friend. Is that the first time she talks? Let me say hello to our very good friend, Megan Haskell. Megan Haskell, of course, wrote books. What have I done with your books, Megan? They're everywhere. I promise they're up here. Megan Haskell wrote books. I wrote the menus to some of those books. Go over and check out meganhaskell.com. Megan at Haskell Author, I believe.com. Dang it, Megan. I put your books in a place that I knew I wouldn't forget them, and now I've forgotten where I put them. They're great. Aether Bound. Check it out. All right. Now, give this a shake. We want as much sugar and as much citric acid touching. Kyle's coming in with an incredibly inquisitive look. Oh, thank you, Kyle. Kyle was reading them, so here they are. Go ahead and check out our good friend Megan Haskell. When she joins, we like to give her a little howdy do, a little hey hey. She has 2 books. Hopefully, we will get to the final bit of Aether Bound, or we'll just keep going. But there's 2 books now. Check them out. We love Megan Haskell. I went to college with Megan Haskell. I once climbed down the side of a dorm room with her husband. A lot of fun. We're shaking this. We're getting this going. Now, here's a part that I think that Super Juice absolutely missed out on, and that's this fella. Now, you may say, Cush, what's that pink garbage in there? Stop it. That's not garbage. That's salt. I didn't realize that the salt that I had been eating my whole life was horrible for me When I met my wife, she cured me. I am no longer a salt ignoramus. I am now a pink salt eater. So I now eat pink salt. I didn't mean to eat pink salt. I didn't know pink salt was ever going to come in my life. But now all the salt that I have in my life is pink. It doesn't change the flavor. It doesn't change anything. I think it might just be from volcanoes. And maybe I need a fierier personality. I don't know what's going on. I lava her. So I will do that. We're going to go ahead and put in 1 gram of salt. Just a little salt. Megan Haskell has some opinions. Pink salt is awesome. So is black salt. Love it. Have you tried Redmond gin? Jen? What's Redmond? I hope that's another typo. That'll make Jen laugh. We're going to give this a shake. The whole idea of this is you want as much of the lemons touching that sugar as you can. What you will do now is you will put this back into your food saver. You will suck out all the air, and it will shrink until all of that sugar starts to get in here. Now, through the magic of television, I have already done this. This, Kyle, please, Kyle, I'm begging you, please remind me that I have a whole thing of oleosaccharum that's about to just sit in that drawer. Please remind me. I'm sorry. What is gray salt? What is gray salt? My goodness. What the heck? What are all these salts doing? I let this sit. Thank you, low carb cocktail guy. Low carb cocktail guy letting you know that yellow snow does have carbs in it. Don't eat it. I let this sit. I made this today at 2. It is now 6:23. It is completely liquefied. All of that sugar has turned to this beautiful oil. And we have this really nice lemon. It's lemon, it's citric acid, malic acid, salt, and sugar. What we need to do is we need to put all of this into a blender. Is the centrifuge still operable? My centrifuge is. If you're talking about the one at the Queensberry that they sold underneath me, I don't know what happened to that one. I wasn't real pleased with that. It's a whole nother story. We won't be using the centrifuge today. Okay, we're going to slice this open, and we're going to get as much of these little guys into our blender. I didn't do this really well. Into the blender. Everybody out. We're going to try and get as much of that sugar. That's the oleosaccharum. We want all of that out. Into the blender. Come on, everybody. Let's go. Charge. Now, all of this stuff that's still sitting on the side, that's good stuff. So, we now have to put in 500 grams of water. 500 grams? That can't be right. Don't do it by grams. Let me beg you, please don't do it by grams. We need to put in 500 milliliters of water. That is 1/2 of 1 liter. 1,000 milliliters of water. Oof, that's sour. It's 1 liter. We're putting in half of that. We're going to go ahead and pour it through the bag first. See if we can't pick up a bunch of that goodness. Lots of sweet, lot of sour running all the way through here. That's what we want. If we just sort of close this off, give it a little shake. All that stuff off the side. All that stuff off here. And then we'll turn this around and away we go. That's what we want. We'll do that one more time. We just want that last little bit of sugar right in there. Excellent. And we will, that seems pretty good. We'll just dump this right in here. Awesome. Bag is pretty clean. Pretty clean. But you know, it doesn't have to be exact. Now, blend. This is what we do. We have to blend this up. We want all those little lemon bits. We want all of that sugar, all of that water, all mixed up together. Don't blend it too much. All right? We don't want, get out of there. We don't want all these little lemon bits to be part of this. If you blend too much, then you're going to start to get little chunkules floating through your lemon juice. That's not what we want. Hashtag put it on soup. There we go. Here we go. Getting real close to this. Nope. It's a horrible angle. That's a good angle. Ready? Here we go. That should be good. We have enough large chunks in there. Everything, get off of there. Everything has been, oh, there we go. That's a good little shot. See how there's like still big chunks in there? That's what we want. We want all those big chunks still hanging out. Big chunkuses. You can add the water back in here. You need 500 grams of it. And then you're going to send it through a filtration device. Now, lots of different filtration devices. You can just put it through a tea strainer if you want. I made this a little bit ago, and it was, the tea strainer didn't get enough of that stuff, and I got a little piece of a lemon stuck in my teeth. I didn't care for that. So instead, we're going to put it through this reusable coffee filter. This thing seems to be pretty good. Just pour that straight through. And this should get most of the pieces out. We have not lost any. In fact, we have gained some. Obviously, we've gained. So I put in exactly 500, and now we're just a little bit above. Give that little spin there. There we go. Now, I don't have a solution for what to do with this. If anybody has a thought on what to do with this stuff, let me know. I do, however, have a solution with what to do for everything else in this. Dang it. Put this right here. Kyle, remind me, I got to take that out, please. Thank you. I have a solution with what to do for everything else. How about these? These are perfectly working lemons. These lemons can be used right now. You want to make yourself a lemonade? Make it. You want to make yourself a corpse reviver? That's on you, baby. Dry it out and add to sugar to make lemon sugar. Done. We'll do that tonight. We'll make some lemon sugar. This, however, right here is called, I think we're calling it pseudo-citrus or pseudo-juice. Oh, let me say hello. Listen, a good friend of mine just joined. Let me say hello to my good friend, Johnny Deluxe. Johnny Deluxe was one of my barbacks and a very good friend and like a brother to me. We played pool for forever. Hello, Johnny. Good to see you, pal. Kyle says, hi, Johnny. So this stuff right here, this is lemon juice. However, nothing in this will start to go bad. There's no actual juice in here. It's all citric acid, which is a preservative, malic acid, which is a preservative, sugar, which is a preservative. There is water, which shouldn't go bad, and then there is lemon oils, which should be fine. From what I've heard, now I've only just started making this, so I can't give you a full recount of how this all works, but from what I've heard, this stuff will stay around for much, much longer than super juice. Super juice stayed for about 3 months. There is nothing in this that will go bad from what I can tell. So I think, just from thinking, just from sitting down, having a little thought, I think that this stuff should last probably about a year. I don't know. We're going to keep trying. We're going to keep making it. And this is what we're going to do. Now, I promise you guys, if you wanted to do limes, Lime juice, also the same basic thing. 30 grams of lime peels, 30 grams of sugar, 36, and this is where it gets crazy, 36 grams of acid. You need 24 grams of citric, and you need 12 grams of malic. Clearly, we've said this before, lemons are sweeter, limes are more citric, limes are more acidic. So you need a little bit of that. Same 1 gram of salt, blend it up like that, pour it through, and this is it. Dougie G wants to know how it tastes. I'm not going to just sit and drink a thing, but I am instead going to do this. I'm going to make, and I brought it in here just to make this, I'm going to make myself a lemonade. So I'm, antibiotics, I can't drink. Make ourselves a little lemonade. I have some simple syrup. We're going to go ahead and put in, oh gosh, I've moved everything. Taught a class today and I moved everything. Oh, there it is. We're going to go ahead and put in 1.5 ounces of some simple syrup. Oh, right here. 1.5 ounces of some citrus juice or some pseudo-citrus. We're going to put in a bunch of ice. That's all the ice I have left. We're going to put in some soda water. This is like a lemonade fizz. Give this a little stir. Cheers. We're going to do a blind taste test. From what I can tell, this is going to be a much more difficult battle box than regular lemon versus super juice. Pseudo juice absolutely has more elements in it that a real fresh juice will have. But since it won't go bad, it should be good. I fail to see how this isn't going to be a better version of super juice. So we have pseudo juice now. I'm going to put a little bit more. I put a little too much soda water in here. The glass is too big. There we go. Equal parts. We'll stir. That tastes like lemonade to me. I can't figure it out. Okay, real quick, if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to recap the entire show for Doug. So earlier in the show, Moose couldn't be here. So Bon Bon wrote, I'll just put it in the thing because you're going to want to see this. I feel like this is kind of an important little piece. She wrote, "Thanks, Moose, woo Sisyphus," but that's not what she meant, Doug. What she meant was, "We will miss you," but it auto-corrected. I then went on to tell a little story about how my wife thinks that that's the funniest thing that can happen. We had a little giggle about it. After that, I went through and explained exactly how super juice is different than pseudo juice. Super juice uses the actual juice from the citrus. Pseudo juice does not use the juice from the citrus. In fact, pseudo juice uses sugar and citric acid and malic acid and salt to create, let's see, is this one ready so I can show you an example? Oh, this one's not ready yet, but next time I'll show you the whole thing. Right there. So it uses the entire it's anyway. The bit I think is over. Basically, Doug, the difference is pseudo juice doesn't use any of the juice, which means it lasts a little longer. It uses sugar, acid, and salt to make a more complete flavor. Super Juice was, the problem was it tasted a little too limey. It was a little too strong for cocktails that were very lime forward, lemon forward. This one doesn't have that problem because the sugar actually reacts more like an actual lime or an actual lemon. We forget that there actually is lime and lemon. There we go. Dougie G gets to stay after class. All right. You all have homework. Thank Dougie G. I want just a few words on the difference between pseudo juice and super juice. Due by Monday. Let's say 500. That's super easy. That's what I have for you guys. Like I said, we have make him write sentences. That'll teach me to fall asleep. Feels like junior high again. Sorry, buddy. I don't know what to do. He asked me what's the difference. Playing the difference the whole time. Okay, that's what I got for you guys. We are now on our pseudo juice kick, or our super juice alternative. Pseudo-citrus. That's what I'll be using. So if you're not watching me slice a lemon, slice a lime, it is because I have been keeping up on my citrus, my pseudo-citrus. Hopefully by Thursday, like I said, tomorrow is my last day of antibiotics. I should wait an extra day or two to get back to drinking, but hopefully by Saturday, we will be able to create a gin and tonic. I know that my good friend Johnny Deluxe, one of the awards that I hold in life is that I was able to get my friend Johnny Deluxe, who was a Jack and Coke kind of guy, a black tooth grin kind of guy, into gin, or at least he liked the gin when I made it for him. So we're going to be doing a full class on how to make homemade tonic, all the different uses for it. And then Thursday is our Halloween show. I didn't get a chance really to go to a lot of Halloween costume parties this year, so I will be wearing a Halloween costume. Hopefully you guys will too. I will do my best in the next couple days to get the VIP room going so we can all show up. That's what I have for you. Thursday, Halloween show. Saturday, tonic. And then next week, back to our regularly scheduled programs. Tuesdays, Tiki Tuesdays. Thursdays, Thirsty Thursdays. And Saturdays, that's just us having the time of our lives. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, what do we say?
Goodbye.
Let's find a better one. We always say goodbye. How about, as always, we always say... We don't like that one as much. Let's end on a good one. What do we always say? We look each other right in the eyes and we say...
Are you Dr. Jinga Janga?
And then we say...
Bye!
Goodbye, guys.
Bye! I know you are, but what am I?
No. But that's not what we're talking about.